Now guys, we're already down to the 8th spot, but just before we get into the number 8 video, how about we get the artist to debut at number 8 right here in the studio with us? And it is none other but Simi Sola Bolatito Kosoko, also known as Simi. How are you doing, Simi?
I feel very good, thank you.
Yes. It's so good to have you here in the studio. Now, your latest single called Borrow Me Your Baby is to debut this week at the 8th spot on the countdown where you're featuring Fowls. How does that make you feel? And can you give us a little bit of, intel on the creative process?
So Borrow Me Your Baby, first of all, is a very hilarious song. It's basically someone saying that they want something that's not their own.
Yes.
And knowing my history with Fowls, we've had like multiple songs where basically the man is chasing a girl and then the guy is chasing the girl and she's running. She's saying, leave me alone, and then even after so now basically the next, like we're told the story as, like the next level now, after everything is, she's with someone else, but still asking someone else that's, borrow me your baby. And I think that it was just like a very hilarious next step, in the stories that we've been telling over time. And Fowls was such a good sport because funny thing is I had sent him like 3 different songs before, and he did them, but I just felt like I just kept changing the songs, and he just kept recording. So yeah, it was amazing to create.
So there are a couple of rumors that people have been whispering around on social media talking about the relationship between you and Fowls, and it's always kind of like present in most of the music that you guys, do together. Can you just clear the air? Because I know what it is, but, just for the others.
I think that sometimes we get bored, so we just want entertainment, because I've done multiple songs with multiple people. Right? The rumors were started by the people, not by me and Fowls. We just made a song, and people decided to attach a story to it, and that has nothing to do with me. Like the person I'm with, it's not maybe I'm hiding my relationship.
And there you have it, guys. Now you know. Okay, so now let's get back to your music. Simi, can you just give us, speak to us extensively on your newly released album, Lost and Found? Let us know. What is it about?
So I just put out my album, Lost and Found, and it's one of my favorite albums from me so far. And I think that the inspiration behind the album was basically me kind of reigniting my relationship with my melodies and my writing and my stories. Right after I gave birth, I felt kind of like I was trying to figure out what it is I wanted to keep sounding like, what I wanted to experiment with and everything. The album has 14 tracks and I think 7 features, and this is the first album that I've made that has had that many features, because I do features, but like it's usually people featuring me. I don't have like lots of songs where I'm featuring people, and I wanted to also experiment with that, and all the features were so intentional. I have songs with Bella Shmurda, Paul, like that's Lady Paul, Asha, who is a major mentor to me, Chief Commander Ebenezer Obey, Tiwa Savage, Fowls the Bad Guy, and Lil J.
What inspired your transition from gospel music to mainstream music, and how has been the journey so far?
I always say that I'm a Jesus baby, but when I was writing gospel music, it was very much inspired by the fact that that's all I could write. I could only write gospel songs. I remember I used to try to write love songs, but they just wouldn't come. And so I'm a very intuitive person, and I consider myself spiritual as well. So I just go with whatever my heart is doing. So I remember that I kept trying, and I started writing different songs, and I kept on going. I remember when I left the industry, a lot of people were like, oh, it's because you're looking for money. And truth is that I don't see that. I mean, it's a job, like I'm a singer, so if I'm doing it for money, that's cool. But that's really not why I switched at the time. I started to write differently, and so
In 2014, you signed with Xtreme Music. How did the signing to that record label impact your career, and what did you learn during your time with Xtreme Music?
Being signed to Xtreme Music was really great for me, I have to say. And I think my favorite thing about being an artist there is the creative freedom that I was given. And that's not something that lots of artists can say in Nigerian labels, you know, especially when you're just starting. Maybe if you've blown, you can have more of a say. But from the very beginning, my boss at the time, Steve Babaiku, like, he gave me like a lot of freedom to express, you know, like he trusted my decisions on the songs that I was making, and that was so helpful for me. And it just also pushed me. I always say, like, I never really had to fight for anything until I had to fight for music, and that was a great place for me to fight.
In 2014, you signed with Xtreme Music. How did the signing to that record label impact your career, and what did you learn during your time with Xtreme Music?
When I wanted to start my record label, I'd been in Xtreme for, I think, for 5 years, and I was trying to decide if I should stay on or if I should move on to my own thing. And the thing is, decisions like that are really hard, because when you stay on, that's a few more years. You know, if you're working in like a 9 to 5, you can say you want to try, and then 2 months later you're like, okay, this is not working for me. But when you sign a contract for a record like deal, you're going to be there for like the years that the contract is valid for. And I felt like it was time for me to be more dependent on myself, to make more, I guess, to take more risks, you know, to expand, just do things and answer to myself, you know, and just not be too relaxed, depending on someone else to make certain decisions for me. Just, you know, it was time for me to be a big girl. So I decided to start my own company, Studio Brat.
So how do you manage your personal life, your family life, and your career as well, especially being a mother and being a wife as well?
I think it's, you know, prioritizing and compromising on whatever of the fronts. You know, as a mom, like my child being really young now, so she obviously needs me more than she would need me, say, when she was like 19, you know what I mean? And as an artist, like, it's just, I guess it's finding like a good balance, you know, and not letting any of the glass balls drop, you know, and finding the things that you can compromise without being resentful. And, you know, I consider myself a very intentional person. I don't do things just to do things. At least I try not to. And so when I commit to something, I'm committed to the end, you know. So it's not, I don't look at it as, oh, can you imagine? So it's like, if I chose to do this, then I have to give it everything, you know. But I also have to commit to myself as well as a person, you know. This is why sometimes, like, I won't say irks me, because, you know, I think I'm kind of used to it now. But, like, you know, like, there are a lot of people that say, especially in a country like Nigeria, when things happen to you, people expect people to respect you because you're someone's wife or because you're someone's mom. You know, people expect you to get things. You know, when they're standing up for you, when they're defending you because you're someone's wife. You know, you're talking to somebody's wife like that, you're talking to someone's mom like that, but, like, I'm a person outside of my child, outside of my husband, you know. So, like, also showing up for myself as a human being, you know, is something that I try to be as intentional about.
Well, thank you so much, Simi. It's been absolutely amazing having you here in the studio, right here at the Soundcity Top 10 Nigeria studio.
And also, keep watching Soundcity Top 10 Nigeria.
Now let's get back to the countdown. Simi is teaming up with Fowls on this one, and they both call it Borrow Me Your Baby.